What's up, YouTube? Let's talk about the 2023 Gen YZ450F. A little bit of daylight left here. Got to ride one of these today for the first time, finally. I know I'm a little late, but better late than never because I love this thing. I want to hit on some of the things that I love about it the most. I'd say number one would be that it's nothing like the previous generations. The 3 generations before this had really let me down. Hated the backwards engine when it came out in what, 2010. Hated the next generation, 14 to 17. Have a 20 in the garage, which is 18 to 22. It's okay, but it feels super wide. Yes, I know it's not super wide, but it feels super wide, guys. This bike does not. I had kind of written Yamaha off. I thought they were going in the wrong direction and they were never going to come back to what I wanted it to be, which I wanted a 2016 KX450F kind of feel. I wanted a super skinny bike with good power, and that's really what this is, man. You hop on this thing and I feel very similar up front to my 16 KX450F. There was just something about that bike, that 16 to 18. It got a bad rap because people didn't like the forks and stuff on those, but that's a whole separate video. So number one, it's different than the last 3 generations by a lot, which I love. It's got the backwards engine. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan of the setup. Yes, I know it makes power on the 250s, but I don't really care for it. So number one, it's different than the last 3 generations in the right direction. Number two, it feels super skinny. I mean, everything's tucked in. You don't feel like you're straddling a cruise ship like you do on the 18 to 22 model. I also, just a little addition, I like how they added the quick lock here instead of the just push tabs that would always come out of the other ones. That's definitely an improvement. Okay, so number 3, what I like about this bike, you know, historically in the past, the Japanese bikes, most of them have been revers, and the KTMs were known for their lugging ability. With this bike, I feel like I can lug it or rev it. So it's got plenty of power. You can be a gear high if you're either a vet, or maybe you're tired, or maybe you just want to keep the chassis as settled as possible. You can pull corners a gear high, like I've been, like you can kind of do on a KTM, but I hadn't been able to do on my Cowies and stuff in the past much before that. But you can also rev the bike. So when you do rev it, if you want to just blast into a corner, shift down and just blow out and pass somebody or hit some ridiculous obstacle right out of the corner, you can rev it and it doesn't get buzzy. The bike doesn't get, doesn't start vibrating. You don't get a crazy amount of feedback. It just revs. So it gives you so many options when you have a bike that you can do that with. My Cowies in the past have really wanted to rev a lot. My KTM, I think it rides a lot better if I lug it. If I really get into the revs, it starts to get a little more, you get a lot more feedback, and it's a lot more energy. It takes a lot more energy. It's a lot more to handle. That's probably where it's the single overhead cam. Dual overhead cams normally a little better in that respect. Number 3 thing that I love about the 2023 Gen YZ450F is this sucker turns on a dime. Not joking, guys. I feel like you can put this bike anywhere, but you can do it different ways. If you want to dive and really knife the front end, then the back end just kind of follows you. It goes really nice. Or if you're in kind of a slide and you want to just get into a line, the rear end seems to just tuck in perfect. And there's some aftermarket suspension on here. It's got gold valves and coatings and stuff like that. Maybe that helped a little bit, but I didn't like that very much today over the chop and stuff. So it's just different rider settings. It's not my bike, but those are my top 3 things that I love about this bike. It's skinny, you can rev it or lug it, and it turns on a dime. And then, with this bike specifically, a couple little additions of other things. I love how Yamaha swapped out the old design. Luckily, shout out to Billy for letting me ride this. He had the 997 bars on here, which are perfect feel for me. And he's got this taper XPS clutch perch and lever, which is a really good feel. It's similar to like the Works Connection ones. Really helps out a lot. One bonus piece of advice for you guys though, definitely double and triple check these air filters. This one we just put a top end in and it only had 30 hours on it, because there were some mud races done and the air filter didn't seal really good, and we got some dirt through the throttle body and into the intake, which is very common on these. That's the biggest complaint, is getting that air filter to seal really good. So that's something you'll want to check. One other piece of note I wanted to say was that the valves on this thing had 2.00 shims in them, and that seems like a very small shim from factory. Doesn't give you a whole lot of room for adjustment. More common would be something over a 3.0 or something from factory. So wasn't sure. I don't have a whole lot of experience with this gen, so I didn't know if anybody else had come across that with similar results yet or not. All right guys, well that's it for this video. I owe some of you Yama bros an apology, because now I see why Tomac and Webb wanted to go to this bike after they rode it, because it's a very good package. It pains me to say this, but this probably overall is a better bike than, for me at least, than my KTM. Oh yeah, somebody asked me to name a few things I didn't like about it. Guys, this is the first bike in a long time I really couldn't figure out much I didn't like about it, besides the engine design and stuff, how it's backwards to work on from all the other bikes, and taking the exhaust off is a pain, all that stuff. But the only thing I noticed today riding it was the starter button is really weird sometimes, and that's the same way on my 2020. It's like it can't turn the engine over sometimes. It gets stuck, or I don't know. It's just like sometimes there's not enough juice. I don't know if the batteries may be old in this or what, but then sometimes it works absolutely perfect. I want to ride the 24 and 25 KXs and see where they're at compared to this. But yeah, if I was a customer and I didn't have any sort of relationships with any specific shop and I was just looking for a bike, yeah, I couldn't knock anybody if they just go out and buy a 2023, 2024, or 2025 YZ450F. All right guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.